fellas, how are you? Collectively known as Sharp Class.
Yeah.
Good, right, we're here to talk about the album.
We are indeed.
Are we excited?
Very excited.
Right, for the people that are buying it, we've got a couple of question and answers, so let's kick off with the first question. What's the oldest song on the album?
The oldest song on the album is a track called Show Me a Good Time, which I wrote when I was about 15 years old. So I'm 21 now.
I think we did learn it as well in about when it was first wrote as well. It was just shelved for years. Yeah, back when we was in the school doing like lunchtime practices and whatnot. It was a song that sort of come out of there, and we did know how to play it. We just shelved it and didn't release it.
So it's not just an album filler, it's just one that was do actually.
It's almost like got a bit of history between us as well.
Nostalgia, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. How long did it take to make that album?
Well, we see by our reaction. George started recording it in the first half of 2020. It's been about 3 years.
It was just a very start sort of process, and it was like, we want to push and get it done, and then it's, we've got a few songs done, and then it stopped.
And almost when the COVID happened, a lot of things were put on hold.
That was the problem. That's the worst part.
What song on the album are you most proud of? You have like individual answers here, so start with you, like, what song are you most proud of?
This is quite a tough question. I'm going to say it's going to be either Live with the Kicks, which was the second single on the album, or Tales of a Teenage Mom. Purely because I feel like they've got the deepest connection with the album, and as soon as I got the name of the song, I was like, that's an album, that's the name of an album.
Yourself, Declan, what's your favourite?
I wouldn't straight away.
I hope you do.
Yeah, I think come in. I thought come in, it's very energetic, there's a lot of different performances I can do for each part of the song. Yeah, that's the energy of that song, definitely.
Well, that's my favourite on the album, is Each and All and Everyone. And that's just more of a way of how it was just all crafted together. I think.
I
think that's probably one of the highest production songs we've done.
Don't have to correct an answer, but you all answered something different there.
We did, yeah.
Which is very good. It's quite unusual, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's good. It's still a collective, fantastic. Second set of questions, lads.
Yeah.
Flip blockbusters, I'll go for P-Bob. Right. What was the songwriting and recording process for the album?
Well, it was pretty much the same all the way through. It would end up being that I write a song at home, with acoustic guitar or whatever, and write the lyrics, write the chords and things like that, and then I'd take that song that I've got to the other two, practice and things like that, and then we just kind of flesh it out and make something of it. Sometimes it would be a literal kind of skeleton of an idea, and sometimes it would more or less be the whole song, and I just need the other two to kind of
we just sort of do our little
add our bit,
add our bit,
see what sounds good.
Pretty much, yeah. It's similar to that, really, isn't it? See what worked, see what didn't work, and then we take it to the studio. Once we'd like fleshed it out and got it, and record it in a day.
Within that sentence there, where was the album recorded?
So a lot of the songs were recorded in a studio in Nottingham called Roffle Studios. It's not there anymore, unfortunately. It's a great studio. The engineer there was great, and that was a lot of it was during 2020 and 2021. And then the back half of the album, songs that were recorded, they were recorded at a place called Electric Bear Studios in Mansfield. Me and Deck would go and we'd record the drums there, do a few kind of ghost tracks, and it ended up being that we'd do the drums in 4 hours for the songs, get those, smash those down, and then we'd go home and record vocals, guitars, bass, everything.
Yeah, I used to, I used to pop around, and we used to do obviously the bass, backing vocals, and try and smash that all out in sort of one session.
So it's sort of evolved, because it started with us all going into the studio together, spending 8 hours there a whole day, recording a whole track in one day, and then by the end of the day, that's it. What we've got, and then it ended up with being we go and record the drums by themselves, and then we go home and we can record things, take as long as we wanted to really work things out with the guitars and vocals and bass. Yeah, it ended up being that kind of process. So we record the song and then I'd mix the song and then we get it mastered. So that whole process, there's more freedom involved than when we started. So it worked out really well, to be honest, in the end.
So that's the point of view from a recording studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you go out and you play live, what is your favourite track playing live and why? And I would like an individual answer, if you don't mind. So we'll start with the lively one, right?
I've got it coming again.
Again.
Said,
which is fine, as you say, you just seem to let yourself go at that.
Yeah, it's exactly the same answer for the last song. It's just so energetic. I can do my own performance. It's just a good song to play.
You get a drum solo.
Yeah, exactly. Drum solo, that's a big part.
Always good. Lewis, yourself?
The Tales of a Teenage Mind. It's just sort of straight in, off you go. You know, upbeat, fast pace, and it's just a thing as well. A really understanding sort of song. I think it's quite easy to be related to. And
there's a good bass track that you can
yeah, and to be fair, I do have a nice little bass riff in there, which I do like to play.
All yourself.
I think it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be. Oh, the Tales of a Teenage Mind or Living for Kicks. I'm going to say Living for Kicks because you said Tales of a Teenage Mind. Purely because it's written about where we're from, our hometown. So it's almost. Wherever we play in the country, there's always that thing of this song is actually written about where we're from. We could be miles and miles down the road. So it's that kind of
sentimental sort of.
Yeah, excellent. Right, we'll leave it from there. From the music room to someone else. Right, here we are in the museum, the actual car that the specials used in Ghost Town. Back to the questions. Now lads, there's some good ones from your fans. Apparently the album was an overarching theme. What is the theme of your album?
Well, the main theme of the album really is about being young and growing up.
Being a teenager, and you know what we've sort of come across in life, our individual experiences as teenagers. You know, we want anyone to be able to relate to us and what we've experienced, and what we're trying to tell our story in the song.
I think you often find that with the songs you like and you listen to and you grow up. When you're growing up, you don't know it at that time, but you relate to it in a certain way because of that process of growing up, and it always sticks with you. So it's I mean the album's called Tales of a Teenage Mind, and so one way to describe it is that the tracks on the album have this overarching theme of like the trials and tribulations of growing up, teenager and things like that. Because it was written as we were growing up, so it's almost like a time capsule of it.
Can I answer my second question? The second question is, was the theme of the album intentional?
When I wrote Tales of a Teenage Mind, and I knew that that was a really good theme and it very much was intentional, right, I've got something here, I can flesh it out and make it into an entire album and get all these songs kind of interwoven into each other. For example, you've got the first track on the album, which is Tales of a Teenage Mind, the title track. There's a line in there that says we were only living for kicks, and then the closing track of the album is Living for Kicks. So it's almost like the album is bookended. I've always seen it as that kind of theme, growing up and being young. And so I realised I had that actually get it all to stitch together and work as a complete album.
And again, individual questions. Have you learned anything from making the album?
I've learned it's not quite just as simple as putting a song together. It's got to have a meaning. It's, you want to push it out to followers who enjoy that. And I think it's not so straightforward. I've learned it's not just quite as easy as what it's made out to be.
Do you want to add to that, Declan? I'm not like a dog.
Not to that exactly. Obviously I've learned the same things. hard to do, but I personally have learned how to play the drums in the band. When I first started the band, I didn't know how to play the drums at all.
Right.
I did lessons at school, and I basically learned how to play the drums through the band. So every song you can hear, you're getting better. I hope. I'm pretty sure you can.
I actually agree with that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just want to add as well, before Ollie answers this question, big props to him because you really sort of guided both of us really into. You basically moulded this band.
Not so much now.
Not so much now.
Especially earlier on, it was like
early days. It was, you know, you could play and we didn't have a Scooby. Absolutely no clue at all.
Well,
he just went, right, you have that. You sit behind the kit and we just
you hit this thing.
he just sort of guided us and we just ended up figuring it out. Really.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason I play the drums, because you just went down to play the drums. I was like, okay.
Cool,
Yeah.
Cool. You can almost call it learning on the job. That's almost like what it is.
Hands-on experience.
Yeah. And I think what I've learned is, I think more for me is the creative process. When it started, I wrote a song, let's flash it out and play it in the practice room and things like that, and then record it in 1 8-hour day. Bear in mind, those 8 hours include setting up for an hour, having it in, de-set for another hour, so you don't get any hours to record. Yeah, it is. And then by the end of it, you know, I was mixing all the songs and I was recording a lot of the stuff, and that's what I learned: guitar and the lyrics and things, and then get the drums, and then come back and record all the parts and get those in place and sit there and really work out. Right, could we make this more interesting? Can we do something with it? So that was what I learned from it, was that whole kind of creative process, recording something, kind of producing it.
Excellent stuff. Good. That'll do us for just now. From us here in the Specials car. Back in the next room. Right lads, here we are again, last set of questions. Which song in the album was written last?
I have to rack my brain.
You'll know that.
Yeah, it was. What we got? I think it was either Bandwagon or a song called Contradiction. I'm going to go with Bandwagon. I'm going to lock my answer in. That was the last song that I recorded. Oh, sorry, written for the album.
You did?
Where did the name of the album come from? So I know Tales of a Teenage Mind is the single, but where did you get that from?
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to write a song in my room one night, and I looked at this book, and the book was called Tales of a Teenage Mod.
Right.
And I read the book, but I looked at it, and it was one of these things where, as soon as I looked at the book, I didn't think about it, it just went, Tales of a Teenage Mind. Don't know why it happened, I honestly don't know why. And as soon as I thought of that, I was like, hang on a minute, I just struck something there, and I was like, oh, this is genius.
I do remember
the pin dropped. Yeah, and then I think I told them that.
I do remember you said.
From that one line, Tales of a Teenage Mind, I wrote the song in about 20 minutes.
I think a lot of people think that Teenage Kicks, the undertones, that's the link to that story. It's a teenage mind working over.
It
was a funny one, because like I said, from that one line, I got the old song. It's very rare that I write a song in 20 minutes, I will be honest. It's very rare. But from that one line, that split second, I got the whole song, and I got the name of an album. And then from that, I got the whole theme of the album. So that was it. That's just kind of what didn't happen.
I'll go back to the old individual question again. What was the hardest song to record? Individually, you must have a point of view on that.
I really struggled with my comment.
You love that song.
You do.
I do love, yeah.
You got like a love-hate with it. The struggle involved makes you love it now.
I think it was that song. I think I had.
I remember, yeah. Because you had to do it the whole day, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you've got the whole drum solo.
We're doing the, I don't know why.
Just not feeling it on the go.
I think so, yeah.
He hasn't had his coffee.
They sell up to have this.
There's 50,000 sugars.
Yeah. I think the hardest song for me to record was, you know what, I'm gonna have to go with Contradiction. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. It was because it's the only song on the album that uses the capo on the guitar. The guitar play, the Rickenbacker I play, it's got small frets, so it's really hard to get my fingers and to get that picking pattern and just keep playing it over and over. For some reason, I just found it hard to do. It took a few tries to get it, nail it, because I didn't want to have to cut and sharpen it. I wanted to get the whole take all the way through. And it's got acoustic guitars in it and stuff, so it was a bit out of the comfort zone of what I used to do. So I'm going to have to go with it. And I'll forget this. The vocals in the chorus, I think they're the hardest vocals they are. It's quite high. Yeah. So, but once you get going, you get into it. I was able to get it.
I think Keep the Faith is probably the hardest for me.
The backing vocals in that.
And that is purely the reason why I think it's the hardest, because yeah, just the whole my part of it, I think, just there's so many different layers, you know, so many things to think about. And it did take a good few goes into it.
You got it in the end.
Yeah, and like I say, that harmony throughout the chorus, because it's constant the whole way through, it's, you know, when I am taking breaths, making sure I hit that exact note first time without sort of building up into the notes, just on every time.
I want to get it. Bullseye.
Yeah, it's not the easiest. So for me personally, I think it's really
excellent. That's it, lads. That's your question and answers for today. Brilliant. And remember, folks, if you're buying an album for someone at Christmas, Sharp Plasters for life, not just for Christmas.
Keep the faith.
Magic. Well done, man.